it's Bubba here. It's another edition of The People Around Me. I am joined by a very lovely and talented young lady, Maira Carrillo, and we're in her law office. And Maira, thank you so much for taking this opportunity to kind of share some of the things that you have fought through and worked through, starting out as just a junior college student to now a mother and a wife and a business owner and an attorney. And I think there's one word I think that kind of identifies all of those different facets. It's a little word, but it's extremely powerful. It's the word fear. Fear. And I think we all experience that, you know, at different levels and different opportunities. And so what I like to do is just kind of get a little history. You know, you're from the big city of Diboll, no Lumberjacks.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. That's it. And so now you're the oldest of three girls.
Oldest of three daughters, my poor dad.
Plus his son. Oh, he's a super good dude. Super good man.
He was great to put up with all of us. But yeah, so I grew up in Diboll and I graduated from Diboll High School. I guess, do you want me to go through that educational background?
Yeah, just briefly, because you were the first one to really in your family to pursue a college education. So I think that's important because I think there was some fear there.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, and a lot of times people think of fear and look at it with a negative connotation, but it's not. It can be something that can absolutely fuel you and allow you to push forward and persevere. And I'd like to say that's my story. So yeah, I mean, I am the oldest of three and the first in my family to graduate high school, something as small as that most people take for granted nowadays. The first to pursue higher education and the first to pursue a postgraduate degree too. So it's definitely been a journey, that's for sure. But I'm happy to say that it's all been worthwhile, and even more proud to say that I think I have allowed that to be a driving force for my two younger sisters as well, who have also taken the same path. So to me, I would say that I'm more proud of how my accomplishments have driven my sisters more than anything.
Absolutely.
I think we have all made our parents very proud.
Yes. I'm telling you, a very smart family. And, you know, that's the thing. And you said something about fear. Yeah, and it's not a bad thing. You know, you can be afraid of insects or dogs or whatever the case may be. But a lot of times that failure of success, not being able to be successful. And you know, a lot of people, I think you hit on that. They look at fear as a failure. Now, if people, I think, would look at you now and see a successful life, you're married, you have a little boy. You've gone through Angelina College, then to Stephen F. Austin, law school in Baylor, and there was no one there as far as previous families. Okay, when you get there, you were like on your own. How did you navigate that? I mean, how did you go through the day to day, especially in law school? I think you told me it was
27 months.
20 of crying. You know, so there had to be those days where how did you navigate that fear? How did you utilize that fear to keep it from just stifling you, just suffocating you?
Well, first of all, prayer. Lots and lots and lots of prayer, along with, I know for a fact, my mother's prayers, which are the ones that were probably heard out of my mind, because that is one devout Christian woman, and I know that she's done nothing but want the absolute best for her children. But you know, I was trying to reflect back on this, but I've got no other way other than to say that it was just one step at a time.
Oh.
I just had to handle each step as I approached it, right? And everything was new to me. I mean, from the get go, on applying to schools, to what do you do once you're there? How do you register for classes? Where do you go for financial aid? How are you going to pay for this? Right? All of these things. And so, the internet. It's a wonderful thing.
Yes, I can see where that would be most helpful.
But aside from that, I can say that at every juncture, I came across people that I know God put there for me. I know it. I mean, from Angelina College to SFA to Baylor. I mean, there have been so many people in my life that have been there for me as guidance to help me get to where I've come. So I know that's all God as well, because these people were placed there for a reason. So,
isn't that like God? I think what do they say? 90% of the stuff you worry about never even happens. But, I think as humans and wanting that control, when want the positive yes or no, and walking in the light that the Lord gives us is very difficult, very tough, but we may not see him, but he is out there in that darkness, and he's preparing that path. He's shining the light. He's bringing people into your life. And I think a lot of people feel that they're just going to be alone, that there is no hope. There is no possibility of navigating fear of any kind successfully. I think people would look at you and see your business, and I feel like there may be somebody out there that says, well, it's easy for her to not be fearful. Look how successful she is. Well, I don't think success is a result of overcoming fear. I think, honestly, I believe that success is actually facing fear. I think it's actually facing fear. And I think the Lord is so good, and he loves us so much, we think, man, boy, the Lord is just killing me. I think sometimes we have to do hard things. And your potential, your destiny, your dreams that you have, they're not free. They are not free at all. And I think we have to be mindful of that. And I think what he does is with our experience, he gives us little injections of fear along the way, to where when that big, bold fear gets up in our face, we're able to navigate through it. During those times of uncertainty, that's when our faith is forged, when our character is built, when our endurance is galvanized. I guarantee you, at Baylor, there were days where you had to say, I'm done. I mean, probably more than once.
Oh, yeah.
And it's okay. I think it's okay to do that. I think it's okay to say, I can't do this. I can't do it within myself. And Lord, the only way I'm going to be able to do it is if you. Mm-hmm. You get that breath of fresh air, get your feet back under you, and take off again. Now, one of the things I wanted everybody to understand is that there are different, the fear that you have leaving Diboll High School and just going to Angelina College. Nobody had ever done that. When you get through, and then you go to SFA, see, there's another set of fears, now you have to drive to Nacogdoches every day, and then the Baylor, there's another set of fears. You conquered these, and these are different, but it's the same framework.
Right.
It's the same framework. And then when you have the opportunity to actually take over the farm, wow, that had to be, the financial obligation and the employees, and will we have the business? I know you and your husband had to really talk and pray about that. How did you on something that monumental, how did you maneuver that? How did you just say, we're doing it? We're doing it.
There was certainly a lot of fear with that. So I think Derek and I had been married for just a few months when that opportunity presented itself. And so there was a lot of difficult decisions that had to be made there about how we move forward with it. But it took a lot of prayer between Derek and I. I mean, we would sit down in the evenings, look at the numbers, right? I mean, you've got to look at that.
Absolutely.
We have to look at finances. How are we going to make this happen? How are we going to make this work? Pray about it. And I think we made the right decision.
I believe you did. I
think we were led to make the right decision. But it wasn't without difficulties along the way, that's for sure. And again, people see the end result. They don't see what is going on in the background.
Absolutely.
Right? You see just what's at the forefront. And there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it, for sure. But God's been great to us. God's been
absolutely
really, really great to us, and that was the first step, right? Then the next step is, okay, well, how do you start a family with all of this going on?
That's a good point there.
And so, that was the next thing. And so, again, God was good to us. We've got Lucas, and I was so blessed and fortunate to, those first few weeks of his life, months of his life, he was in here with me. So he'd be in his little bouncer, or he was crying or whatever he needed at that moment. And I had him in my arms and I'm meeting with his clients, or I'm on phone calls and I'm rocking a baby, or I want a Zoom meeting, And so I know that a lot of women don't have that opportunity to be able to still carry on your professional life while still being a mother, and you feel like you've got to make that sacrifice between the two.
Wow.
But again, I mean, I know had I been in big corporate America, I don't know that I would have had that same luxury to have my son at the office.
That's true. So I guess, hearing you say that, if you're a young lady out there, and I know it has to be different because, you're studying, you're going to school, and then you get out and get a job, and then maybe you start dating a little bit, and then you get married, and each one of those comes with different fears, different challenges, and then you add a child on top. And children, if you don't know this, they're the most selfish people on the face of the earth. They want what they want, when you want it, right then. He's not concerned you're on a Zoom call, but to be able to maneuver through that, what would you tell a young lady? Just to say, hey, look, it's not always going to be, but look at the end result. How would you encourage someone to do that?
Hey, just get through it.
Just get through it. Get through it. It's just like everybody else. It's just normal.
I know that I was hustling as much as I could before he was born, and I guess that it was that being self-employed. There's no such thing as maternity leave.
This is true.
And so, I knew I had to prepare for that, but then I thought, how am I going to get through this? I know there's going to be these long sleepless nights, and I know that I'm going to have to be prepared for court the next year, whatever it may be. And you just get through it. And again, I would not let that fear of you being overwhelmed by being a parent or by still having to balance that work-life balance. You do get through it. We are a lot stronger than what we think we are.
Absolutely.
And you just learn it. No one can do it. And everybody can tell you it's going to be okay. And they can give you every piece of advice, that works for them. But you find what works for you. And and you get through it.
You know, and I would bet that the opportunity to take over the firm, that was not even on your radar. I mean, I wouldn't even, it was like, hey, what do you think about this? And you're like, oh, wait a minute, I just got married, hold up here. But I think that's the way God works. I think we expect, and I know from my personal experience, that a lot of the time I have it planned out the way that I think the Lord wants it to go, the way I think it should go. And I think he would agree with it. And he doesn't. He said, I kind of like that thinking, but we're not going to do it that way. Hey, Maira, I like your hard work, your diligence. And, one day, I know you want to have your own firm. Let's do it in about 2 months. How about that? And you're going, wait a minute, what are you talking about? So I think the Lord is so good about preparing things out there for us, and then we just have to trust him.
Absolutely.
Just have to trust him, and fear is such, I see it so often in the mission field. From even just volunteers, they don't feel like they have they don't feel like they have anything to offer. They're not, and they're fearful because they don't look inadequate or stupid. They're fearful of their past. Like if these people found out about who I am and what I did, they wouldn't want me to be a part. And so we lose so much opportunity. I read the book, Chase the Line. It's by Mark Batterson. I want to read just an excerpt of this. I don't want to try to quote it because I would chop it all to pieces. And I think it best kind of suits, I think, where you've been, where you are, where you're headed, or all of us are. And it's very simple, and it goes like this. At the end of our lives, our greatest regret will be the God-ordained opportunities we left on the table. The God-given passions we didn't pursue, and the God-sized dreams we didn't go after. Because we let fear dictate our decisions. Had you settled, had you just said, I don't know, I think I'm just going to stay with this, the steady paycheck, you wouldn't be doing this today. You would not be a business owner. You would not be helping other young ladies. And I know you're involved in a lot of different community service programs in the community and mentoring other young ladies and things of that nature. And with your little sisters, had you had that timid, I'm not going to chase that line, I'm just going to play it safe until I get to death, the blessings that you would have missed.
Absolutely.
The blessings that you would have missed.
Absolutely. No, life's challenging. I mean, it's not a stroll in the park, and we've got to make that choice. Are we going to fight? Or are we going to flee?
Yes.
And fleeing, that's pretty easy. It seems like a good way to handle it. But, I just feel like everything, where I am right now has been me just taking the avenue that I'm going to fight through this. I'm going to pursue this. I'm going to do this. This door shut, but another one will open. And if another one doesn't open, hey, there's a window right there. We're going to get through it.
I agree with that.
And so that's going to be our choice, and no one else can make that choice for us.
And that's so sad to see people that don't fight for it. They don't push forward. And for me, there was times where I said, I'm not doing that. It was a lack of faith. When you really think about it, regardless of what happens, the Lord has our best interest in mind. And he says, fear not. Fear not. So is there anything that you'd like to just sum up? Any little other comment or word of encouragement?
Somebody shared something with me not too long ago, and I was thinking about this as well, and It was, I'm going to misquote it, so I know I don't have it just right, but it was something like, how grateful am I to be so overwhelmed by the things that I prayed for? And
Wow.
so,
Absolutely.
it's not just easy day to day, right? But everything I have prayed for, I'm living. So,
Absolutely. Fantastic. I would
mhm.
challenge each and every one of you to look at it from that perspective. Don't look at it like a challenge, look at it as an opportunity. People that look for excuses, you're going to find them. People that look for opportunity, you're going to find it. Laura, thank you so much. Thank you for taking out time and sharing this. And I have to kind of fess up just a wee bit. I've known Maira for several years, and I'm very pleased to announce that she is actually my daughter in law. And she's married to my son, Derek. I set them up, I take complete credit for it. And I'm not ashamed of that. She is also, as she mentioned, the mother of my fourth grandchild, Mr. Lucas Chance. And he's Pawpaw's good boy. And I'm blessed. And you see, um, how all people are blessed around you when you push through marriage, a business, a child. And I'm so thankful, not only for her, but all my children. And so, like a soap opera, all my children. But I'm so thankful for that. Hey, remember, fear not. Fear not. Push through. Look for that opportunity. Chase the lion. Chase the lion. Thank you so much for tuning in. And always remember, God is more interested in doing something in you than through you. We'll talk to you later.